Hello, welcome to Ra-El Bull. I'm a professional astrologer and holistic wellness practitioner. Thanks so much for choosing to spend these minutes of your time with me today. This is the monthly general astrology overview for September 2024. I'm your host and guide, Ifeymerael. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to support this channel. I'm really thankful for your thoughtful support. As I said in part one, September's energies arrive in the wake of July's rockets of lunar and mental energetic spiritual activations, which paved the way for August's grind to a halt, oh no, not this again, dramas and conflicts and cries for attention with 5 planets in retrograde motion. Despite the chaos and wall smashing, August closed out nicely with Venus making beautiful angles to both Pluto and Uranus. In the first half of September, we felt strong, revitalizing, and rethinking energies. Our hands found the soil of the Virgo new moon, accompanied by Uranus joining the retrograde party of planets and Pluto making his last dip into Capricorn for more than 2 centuries. We saw a large number of hard aspects, and I pointed out that most of them offered silver linings if we had the presence of mind, self control, and dexterity to seize them. We saw an empowered, energized Mercury at the top of his game on the 11th and felt the blessings of Jupiter and Venus on the 14th. For the second half of the month, we'll experience a very, very rare Piscean white moon eclipse, another period of chaotic and boisterous aspecting, a beneficent equinox with favorable Libra energetics, blessings of Mercury, and a desperately needed Mars-Saturn trine. All of that is prelude to a glorious exit from the eclipse tunnel that began with September's Piscean white moon. We'll unpack all that, kicking off with the full moon lunar eclipse on Magical Day 17. On the 17th, we have A, at 7:34 p.m., that's at 25 degrees 40 minutes Pisces, our September full moon, and B, 11 magical clock minutes later, we have a partial lunar eclipse. That's at 7:45 p.m., 25 degrees 47 minutes Pisces. This moon is 2024's fourth summer full moon and follows the August Aquarius super blue moon on the 19th that was electrocuted by its T-square with Uranus. It's the second of 4 consecutive supermoons, meaning it's very close to perigee, the orbital point nearest to Earth. Like the previous full moon, this white moon, aka Selene moon, is a potent one, resting amidst a cluster of harsh aspects. And it's a partial lunar eclipse. Fortunately, this full moon is bookended by beautiful trines featuring Jupiter, Venus, the Sun, Uranus, and Pluto. The Sun and Uranus were strongly activated in a hard way at the last full moon. At or near this white moon, they're in wonderful harmony, thankfully. Almost certainly, you'll discover lovely full moonations relating to whatever dragons reared their heads in mid-August. And this is a super manifestation moon because of its 1717 nature. Please see my video introduction to Project 17 if you wish to experience the first Gate of the Firehorse project in the portfolio. And be sure to do that a few days before this amazing Selene moon eclipse. Let's talk briefly about this complex white goddess lunar event. We'll look at the general qualities of the moon in Pisces, then we'll recap quickly the meaning and effects of full moons. Next, we'll talk about the lunar eclipse quality. Finally, I'll expand on my observations about why this full moon has a truly special magical character. The moon's powers and experiential domains of the human awareness, emotions, intuition, instinct, the unconscious, the psychic, are highly reactive with the modulations of mutable water sign Pisces. In general, our emotions, psychic abilities, and intuition are amplified, meaning affairs such as love, imagination, and creativity are uplifted, and our capacities for the divine virtues of the higher self, compassion, unity, and self transcendence are optimized. However, there are shadow aspects. The dark sides of our emotional bodies can take the wheel. We can lose our boundaries, experience confusion about spiritual matters, become overwhelmed by our emotions, become prey to manipulations and deceptions, abandon our own self love, slide into addiction patterns, or even make ourselves into sacrifices. Full moons are about completions, endings, and fulminations. Look back at what you intended to accomplish 6 months ago for the Pisces new moon in March. You'll likely discover the full arc of whatever journey of desire or goal you set. Full moons are also about illuminations and revelations. Another way to understand the full moon is the triple goddess, maiden, mother, crone, with the full moon holding the creation power of the mother. Full moons are oppositions between the sun and the moon. So again, the key here is to understand the polarities of the solar and lunar energies within the signs and houses where they're found. This is the key to fruition and manifestation in the case of projects we've been trying all month long, or since the prior Pisces new moon in this case, to bring to completion. In the case of conflicts or crises, it's the key to resolution and integration. Eclipses bring fated events and typically have an impact period lasting several weeks on either side. They come in pairs 2 weeks apart. The second eclipse occurs on October 2nd with the Libra new moon. It's 11:46 a.m., 10 degrees Libra. It's an annular solar eclipse. The September 2024 Pisces full moon lunar eclipse is remarkably powerful by virtue of what we've already said. However, there are a few additional auspicious qualities to it we shouldn't overlook. Before that, I'll point out two challenging aspects occurring the day before, the 16th. First, Mars squares the North Node, our destiny, future, and dharma. This could very well mean that our forward momentum as it relates to Cancerian matters, home, security, family, ancestry, is halted or generates some conflict, perhaps requiring us to make a difficult choice. Remember that the head of the dragon is associated with our vices and character flaws as well as our positive qualities. We should be careful not to overassert or overdrive our expression or efforts at this time. Equally, Mars' detrimental status here in Cancer, coupled with the North Node square, can mean we have difficulty asserting ourselves or motivating ourselves in Cancerian matters or matters of our future. We could also hit a roadblock of some kind and a hard choice might be required. Also on this day, the 16th, Venus opposes wounded healer sage Chiron, so we might feel the sting of some inner wounding involving relationships, aesthetics, or finances. Now, to return to the cool aspects of this Pisces full moon lunar eclipse, there are four. The full moon plays off of the April 2022 Jupiter-Neptune conjunction that occurred on April 12th, that was at 23 degrees 58 minutes Pisces, as the eclipse is occurring less than 2 degrees away. Less than 5 hours later, the full moon conjuncts Pisces ruler Neptune. That's at 12:10 a.m. on the 18th. Neptune is the grand master of creativity, magic, and high spirituality. Also, less than 7 hours after the eclipse, the full moon transits into Aries, where the Pisces lunar shadow attributes are diminished by Aries' self-will, motivation, assertion, and ambition powers. Finally, as I said at the top of this video, this is the fourth supermoon of 2024, which is a rare event that follows August's blue supermoon in Aquarius. Supermoons are inherently powerful because of their perigee quality. Their increased gravitational intensity is, of course, real and measurable. Adding to that the rarity of the seasonal blue moon occurring in August, and the fact this Pisces full moon is part of a rare supermoon foursome, we're looking at a very unusual lunar phenomenon that may not occur again for decades. This is such a special Pisces full moon and lunar eclipse, it has to take its place as one of the signature events leading to the gate of the fire horse configuration heading our way in 2026. I've said in previous monthlies that the April 2022 Jupiter-Neptune conjunction was the second major transit leading to the gate of the fire horse. And since that time, I've pointed out a few others, but let me say a couple more things about that conjunction. That's a very special conjunction because it happens only once every 135 years, roughly. Both planets, Jupiter and Neptune, have strong benefic and auspicious qualities, and both are powerfully uplifted there as Pisces co-rulers. Let's now turn to section 4, the latter half of September. There are 8 challenging aspects during this period and 7 positive ones, including 4 trines. We'll look at this 2-week period in 4 parts, beginning with the mixed aspects leading to the fall equinox. During this stretch, the Sun trines both Uranus and Pluto, just as Venus did at the end of August. These happen about 2 days apart, so in effect we have a fairly strong grand Earth trine. December 2023 through February of this year saw numerous Earth trines involving many planets, including the Sun, Uranus, and Pluto. Those were potent manifestation and foundation builder aspects, which you may have leveraged to make big strides in your Taurian, Capricorn, and Virgo endeavors. On September 21, Pluto has returned to the very final minutes of Capricorn, where he conjuncted the Sun on January 20 of this year, just hours before he entered Aquarius. That day, January 20 of this year, was an epic day, with Venus conjunct the galactic center and squaring Neptune. And the Sun has now moved 2/3 of the way around the zodiac. The Sun now trines Pluto from the final degree of Virgo. We may well experience some echo or revival of something we built or manifested in December 2023 or the couple months following it. So use this powerful energy wisely. The Virgo Sun can mean great progress with our daily routines, work, fitness, health, and nutrition. Uranus and Taurus can mean some unexpected upleveling in our money, wealth, or finances. Pluto and Capricorn trine the Sun can also mean some favorable banking or institutional developments or big progress, especially internalized progress involving our discipline, training, and preparations for the future. Also during this 5-day period, the 18th through the 22nd, we have 4 hard aspects, 2 of them involving Mercury. So we need to be very careful about communications, our thinking, and mobility. His opposition to retrograde Saturn in Pisces can mean very fuzzy, vague, or gelatinous thinking or communication, and his square to our Gemini Jupiter suggests errors that can extrapolate in big ways, creating large problems. Jupiter's in his detriment in Gemini, so his powers are compromised, but expansion is always part of Jupiter's signature. To complicate matters more, beware the Sun's opposition to Neptune, which can mean confusion, deception, disorientation, delusion, and illusion. And Mars square Black Moon Lilith can create feisty, resentful, and poisonous dramas. Mars in Cancer has special resonance to the home, family, and our ancestry, so be vigilant about your thoughts, actions, and emotions in these regards. Part 2, the Venus challenges on September 22nd. The fall equinox is on the 22nd, and the Sun enters Libra. That's at 5:44 a.m. This is excellent for diplomacy, negotiations, repairing relationships, legal matters, and achieving balance. On the downside, Venus squares Pluto, and right afterwards, she enters Scorpio at 7:36 p.m., where she's in her fall. So this day is a real mixed bag for money and finances and relationships. It's terrible for male-female relationships and not good at all for other Venusian matters either. Grit your teeth if necessary, and just remember 26 days later, on magical day 17 of October, Venus enters Sagittarius, forms a sweet angle with Pluto, and the moon is exalted in Taurus. Part 3, mixed Mercury aspects on the 25th and 26th. On those 2 days, Mercury is activated in his home sign of Virgo. He opposes Neptune at 28 degrees of Pisces. Remember the Neptune shadows: illusion, delusion, deception, and confusion, and be very careful with thinking, mobility, and communication matters. Fortunately, in Virgo, Mercury's powers are sharp, But Neptune is formless and a moving target, and both these signs are mutable, so things can shift and morph fast and unexpectedly. On the upside, Mercury trines Capricorn Pluto and quickly enters Libra. We saw Mercury's big energization on the 11th, and now he's making a trine with Pluto in the final degree of Virgo Capricorn. This is big positive energy for transformations in the collection of Virgo and Capricorn domains like health, fitness, diet, daily routines, and banking, governmental and institutional matters. And we can add legal matters to the list on the following day when Mercury enters Libra. Mercury in Libra, well aspected like this, is very helpful with our communications about relationship matters and life affairs that require a balance. Part 4, September's final stretch, the 28th through the 30th. For the last 3 days of September, we have more North Node activations. Venus and Black Moon Lilith both opposed Rahu, the head of the dragon, in the first half of the month, and Mars squared him on the 16th. On the 28th, the Libra Sun opposes him at 6 degrees 28 minutes, Libra Aries. And on the 29th, Mercury opposes the North Node at nearly the same point. Again, we have our future, destiny, and forward trajectory clashing with our joy, self-identity, and expression. The Libra Sun, of course, helps us to achieve balance and moderation. And the Aries energy of the dragon's head, which is favorably situated in the Mars decan of Aries, is invigorating. On the same day, the 29th, Cancerian Mars makes a trine with our Piscean Saturn. That's 9:06 p.m., 14 degrees Cancer Pisces. Mars trine Saturn is wonderful for our assertion, ambition, willpower, and bodily energy levels. The qualification here is neither planet is in great dignity and Saturn is retrograde. This could, however, be uplifting for our emotional bodies and stimulating for our creativity and imaginations. We could also discover ourselves discerning through some deceptions, confusions, illusions, or delusions, and gaining much needed clarity about some things. This is especially true the next day, the 30th. On that day, Mercury in Libra conjuncts the Sun. That's at 2:09 p.m., 8 degrees Libra. This Mercury Cazimi lasts nearly 8 hours. It begins at 10:08 a.m. and ends at 6 p.m. So schedule some private time if possible to be open to epiphanies relating to law, diplomacy, or relationships, especially as those areas might intersect with communication, mobility, or even our neighbors and siblings. Finally, we should note that less than 2 days later, on the 2nd of October, and less than 2 degrees away from the Mercury Cazimi point, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Libra. That's 11:46 a.m., 10 degrees, 3 minutes, Libra. The entire second half of September is an eclipse tunnel that began with the Piscean white moon lunar eclipse on the 17th and ends on October 2nd. We can expect to emerge from whatever drama was initiated in the days and weeks ahead of the Piscean full moon around October 2nd, the day of the Libra annular solar eclipse. Thankfully, there are no intensely negative aspects occurring at this new moon, and on the upside, there are 2 or 3 positive points. First, Mercury's conjunct the new moon. Second, Saturn, Mars, and Venus are forming a grand water trine. And third, Chiron is sextile Jupiter. This suggests a cathartic, powerful, and emotionally healing new moon eclipse tunnel exit, where our relationships or legal matters are center stage. We'll speak more about that in the October general astrology video. So that wraps up my general astrology overview for September 2024. Like August, September is heavy with retrograde energies and challenging angles. On the positive, we have trines with Uranus, Pluto, and Saturn, and a blessed Venus-Jupiter trine mid-month. The month begins with a powerful new moon and abundant Earth energy activations, delivering us with ample potential for new beginnings and initiations in the physical. We have a very special, magical double 17 Neptune conjunct Piscean full moon lunar eclipse, which is exceedingly rare as it resonates with the 135-year Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in April 2022. Around the time of the equinox, we have a strong grand Earth trine that harkens back to the epic astrological day of January 2024. The month ends with big healing aspects, including a water trine, a Chiron Jupiter sextile, an 8-hour Mercury Cazimi in Libra, and the deliverance from our eclipse tunnel on October 2nd with the Libra new moon solar eclipse. So keep all that in mind throughout the month if and when you meet with challenging energies. Just like last month, you probably will. Again, don't allow the bumps and detours to dampen your spirits. There are big positive energies spread throughout the month of September. Also, look forward to October when we'll all experience 4 splendid Venusian blessings and 2 sweet opportunity angles, all of it distributed evenly throughout the month of October. Remember, your spiritual journey is up-leveling you even when you can't see it. If you need to know how to discover where your houses fall within your natal chart, you can visit any search engine site and type free natal astrology chart. You'll have to key in your birthday and time if you know it, and your place of birth. I recommend choosing the Placidus or whole sign house system. If given a choice, I'd start with tropical Western astrology rather than Vedic or sidereal. Or you can visit my site listed in the description below if you'd like your chart prepared by a professional astrologer. If you're interested in being a part of the Gate of the Firehorse community, please visit my website. The Gate of the Firehorse is a fastly approaching epic configuration crystallizing in the outer reaches of our solar system by 4 super potent, radically transformative, and magical planets. Please see my video introduction to Project 17 if you wish to experience the first Gate of the Firehorse project in the portfolio. And be sure to do that a few days before the fantastically magical Piscean full moon lunar eclipse on September 17 this year. If you're interested in my fusion martial arts choreo energetic practice, Hung Chi, see my website where you can learn all the basic postures and passes for the zodiac, the planets, key transits, and other astro features. Hung Chi is a subtle, energetic, spiritual, holistic, Aquarian group art form. This video has provided some broad and generalized astrological advice. If you'd like customized and focused advice about a particular event or undertaking, contact me using the information below and you can place an order on my site. In addition to natal chart and electional chart services, I also provide Sophianic spirituality, higher self activations, and general consultations for spirituality, health and wellness, and career. You can also schedule time for a one-to-one consultation with me directly on my site. If you're in the Los Angeles area, please take a look at the online group I organize, Los Angeles Shamanism Meetup Group. Last but not least, if you're interested in participating in a Sophia Circle journey, I'm a certified Sophia Circle journey leader who conducts both live in the LA area and online virtual circles. Instructions for joining can be found on my site on the services page. Thank you again for spending your time with me today. Ra-El Bo.